When they first said it, I honestly thought it was just one of those dumb, casual group jokes. I wasn't tense. I wasn't suspicious. I wasn't even offended. We were at a small dinner. Her friends had organized a pre-wedding get-together. Nothing fancy. Everyone was relaxed. Laughter flowed easily. I was trying to be the calm, composed guy who doesn't overreact. So when one of her friends smirked and said I shouldn't stress too much because she already had a backup fiancé lined up, I laughed. I didn't want to make things awkward. I didn't want to seem insecure. I didn't want to be the guy who ruins the mood. I laughed. That was my first mistake. Not because the joke was funny, but because in laughing, I accidentally signaled that disrespect toward me was acceptable. Maybe they thought I was too confident to care. Maybe they assumed I already knew. Or maybe they thought I was the type who wouldn't walk away no matter what. I didn't ask who this backup was. I didn't ask if they were serious. I didn't ask where the line even came from. I just brushed it off. But later that night, in the quiet of the drive home, when the restaurant noise faded, that sentence kept replaying in my mind like a glitch I couldn't erase. It didn't feel like a joke anymore. It felt like a small opening into something darker. And the more I thought about it, the stranger her laugh seemed in that moment. The next morning, I woke before her, made coffee, and sat at the kitchen table, unable to shake it. A joke like that doesn't appear out of thin air. No one invents a phrase like backup fiancé without discussing it first. That's not improvisation. That's insider knowledge, spoken aloud by someone who forgot that walls can listen. I started noticing small details I'd ignored before. Her phone face down more often than usual. The sudden emotional distance masked as tiredness. The late replies that had once been rare now becoming the norm. It wasn't paranoia. It was instinct colliding with context. There's a difference between insecurity and intuition. This time, I felt it deep in my bones. Instead of confronting her aggressively, I pretended nothing had changed. I played it cool. I wanted reality to reveal itself on its own. Slowly, cracks began to show. She thought she was subtle, but her tone shifted when certain messages arrived. She angled her body away while texting. She avoided wedding planning conversations, as if commitment suddenly felt like a burden. It was like watching someone quietly pack their emotions, preparing for an exit they assumed would be painless. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, realizing that letting disrespect slide once signals to the world that it's allowed to continue. The following weekend, her friends invited us to a small rooftop get-together. Drinks, music, casual vibes, the usual. For the first 30 minutes, everything seemed normal. She sat beside me, leaned her head on my shoulder, smiled at my jokes. Picture perfect, a moment that could fool anyone seeing only the surface. Then it happened again. The same friend leaned in with a smirk. Careful if you drop the ball. Her other candidate is very patient. This time, it wasn't disguised as a harmless joke. They said it like it was an open secret among them, and I was the only one not supposed to hear it. I laughed again, not because it was funny, but because silence would have revealed that I understood. In that instant, I realized something I'd never wanted to admit. Loyal partners don't allow jokes like that to exist around their name, not even once. Loyalty doesn't need clarification. It naturally commands respect. When we got home, she asked why I was so quiet. I simply said, I finally understand the difference between being chosen and being kept as an option. She froze, her expression drained, like a truth had pierced through, leaving no room for denial. She tried to justify, deflect, and minimize it into casual teasing. But the problem wasn't the words. The problem was the comfort. Those jokes existed because they were rooted in something real. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I didn't argue. I walked into the bedroom, opened the closet, pulled out my suitcase, and began packing. Because men don't beg to stay where disrespect is normalized. Sometimes the most powerful answer is leaving without saying a word.